Impeachment Article 16, prepared by Free Speech for People. Planning the forced removal of Palestinians from Gaza in his conduct of the office of President of the United States, Donald John Trump, in violation of his constitutional oath faithfully to execute the office of President of the United States and, to the best of his ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, and in violation of his constitutional duty to take care that the laws be faithfully executed, has repeatedly misused his official position to threaten and promote the forced removal of Palestinians from Palestine and the commission of crimes against humanity and war crimes against Palestinian civilians. Donald John Trump has repeatedly declared his intention to unlawfully and forcibly displace Palestinians from Gaza and for the United States to unlawfully occupy the land and financially profit from its development. In addition to public statements via social media and the press, he has pressed this policy in official engagement with heads of state in the Middle East, namely by announcing his plan during a meeting and press conference with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and by pushing King Abdullah II of Jordan to commit to taking in forcibly displaced Palestinians. These statements include telling reporters on January 26 on Air Force One that Palestinians should be moved to other countries to just clean out their homelands. Stating on February 4, 2025 that I don't think people should be going back to Gaza. I heard that Gaza has been very unlucky for them. They live like hell. They live like they're living in hell. Gaza is not a place for people to be living. In a joint press conference with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on February 4, 2025, stating that the U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip and will do a job with it too, that the U.S. will own it and did not rule out the U.S. of military troops, instead stating that as far as Gaza is concerned, we'll do what is necessary. If it's necessary, we'll do that. We're going to take over that piece and we're going to develop it. On February 4, also describing Palestine as a new Riviera. Posting to his Truth Social site on February 6 that the Gaza Strip would be turned over to the United States by Israel at the conclusion of fighting. The U.S., working with great development teams from all over the world, would slowly and carefully begin the construction of what would become one of the greatest and most spectacular developments of its kind on Earth. Telling reporters on February 9, 2025, that it's a big mistake to allow people, the Palestinians, or the people living in Gaza, to go back yet another time, and we don't want Hamas going back. And think of it as a big real estate site, and the United States is going to own it and will slowly, very slowly, we're in no rush, develop it. In an interview with Fox News Channel that aired on February 10, 2025, denying that Palestinians would have the right to return to Gaza after he removes them, specifically when asked whether Palestinians would have the right to return to Gaza, answering, no, they wouldn't because they're going to have much better housing. I'm talking about building a permanent place for them. In a meeting with King Abdullah II of Jordan on February 11, 2025, Donald John Trump stated that after talks with Middle Eastern countries that he intends to have a parcel of land in Jordan, a parcel of land in Egypt, we may have some place else, where they'll live very happily. Donald John Trump is threatening to commit or order the commission of war crimes under international treaties to which the United States is a party and under U.S. law. Article 49 of the Geneva Convention relative to the protection of civilian persons in time of war, the Fourth Geneva Convention, prohibits individual or mass forcible transfers, as well as deportations of protected persons from occupied territory to the territory of the occupying power or to that of any other country, occupied or not, regardless of their motive. The unlawful deportation, transfer, or unlawful confinement of protected persons is a grave breach, under the terms of the Fourth Geneva Convention, Article 147, and therefore qualifies as a felony offense under the U.S. War Crimes Statute, 18 U.S.C. Section 2441. While endorsing the forcible deportation of Palestine from Gaza, Trump also has imposed baseless sanctions against International Criminal Court Chief Prosecutor Karim Khan and threatened to impose additional sanctions against ICC personnel. The order undermines the ICC's ability to investigate and prosecution of war crimes around the world and serves no purpose but to protect himself and his complicit allies from the consequences of committing war crimes and crimes against humanity in Palestine. Wherefore Donald John Trump, by such conduct, warrants impeachment and trial, and removal from office.